What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, the home of your boy, me, the Retro Slasher, bringing you guys a brand new update video for the month of March. We'll get into that in a minute, but at this time, I just want to thank everybody for being a subscriber and checking out my videos and leaving your comments down below. I know I'm not the greatest at responding to everybody's comments. I try my best, but if I haven't responded to you, don't be offended or think I'm just ignoring you or whatnot. Life gets crazy and hectic sometimes. Just don't have the time to always do it. But don't think your love doesn't go unnoticed. I read every single comment that I get, positive or negative. Free. It's a free world. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So, like I said, I just want to thank you guys for being subscribers. Almost at 200 subscribers. So I like to try to hit that mark before July, when it's like a 1 year anniversary for me being on here on YouTube. So yeah, let's try to hit 200. But enough of that shit. Let's get into what we actually here for and talk about some films and what I picked up in March. So March was a pretty slow month for me. Be honest, it didn't really pick up anything at all. No new releases. The only things I picked up in March that were new releases you saw in the last update because they came out before I filmed my update. But things I did pick up this month, I must say, pretty solid films. A few of these films were highly recommended to me by fellow YouTubers or personal friends here. Yeah, but let's get into this update. First up, I figured we'd roll out with the DVDs this time, just because there's more DVDs than actual Blu-rays. Thing with the DVDs, you might notice a little bit here in a minute. There's kind of a trend of a certain subgenre of film that I picked up, and no, it's not slasher film. Surprisingly, me, Andy, the retro slasher, the guy always talking about slasher films, never shuts up about slasher films. But be honest with you, not a whole lot of slashers this update. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4, something like that. But yeah, so let's get into these DVDs here. First two I picked up here are from Blue Underground. Both films were highly recommended to me by a few people. I finally decided to listen to you fuckers and pick up some of these films that you've been recommended to me. So first up is a slasher film, of course, sort of, kind of giallo-ish too, but the film is directed by one Lamberto Bava. Of course, this is an Italian film with a name like that, and it's called A Blade in the Dark. I really dug this film. Really gnarly kills, really cool killer, great atmosphere, great soundtrack. Really dug this film, man. Glad I picked it up. I'm finally glad I listened to you fuckers out there. So thanks for recommending this to me. I had a blast with this film. Glad to have it part of the 80s slasher collection. Right, next up here from Blue Underground is a film, yet again, that's been recommended to me more than once. I always just put it off for some reason. Be quite honest, I don't know why. I always piqued my interest. And that, of course, is a film starring everybody's favorite actor, right? One David Hess, from Last House on the Left and the director of To All Good Night. Pretty much the film that might have inspired The Hitcher. But yeah, this is really a pretty gnarly film, man. It's pretty brutal and mean-spirited. It's not too bad or over the craziness, but it's really kind of a fucked up film if you think about it. I really enjoyed this film. David Hess is just typical jackass asshole character that he plays in every single fucking movie, but he does a really good solid job in this one. About this couple that pick up this hitchhiker and just fucks with him and makes him do all these kind of fucked up things. A really gnarly ending in this film. I really dug it. Yeah, if you haven't seen either Blade or Dark or Hitchhike, go out there, pick these up, support Blue Underground. I believe they both have Blu-rays now, part of the 88 Films Italian cinema line or whatever. But yeah, pick up the DVDs from Blue Underground. You get them for like $5 brand new. Why pay all that money for a Blu-ray unless you're absolutely a diehard Blu-ray? And the camera just fell. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Ugh, technical difficulties. It's going so well too. Yeah, this is like my third time trying to do this. But all right, so moving on from those films, let's get into the trend of DVDs you will notice here. First thing I picked up here is a film that I just reviewed on Body Bag right before I recorded this. So the review on Body Bag should be up here sometime today, which is now Tuesday, It's like 12 o'clock in the morning, whatever. But I just reviewed it. So head on over to Body Bags, check out my review, check out everybody else's review, of course. And it is called Prey. Yeah, now, like I said, did a review over there. Check it out. But I'll give a little quick thoughts on this. If you've seen Cujo, you might dig this film because it's pretty much the same exact thing. Just instead of a dog or rabies, it's a pack of hungry lions. Really solid film, really entertaining. I really enjoyed it. I think I said I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Really great film. Surprised the hell out of me. I know a few people said they haven't seen it. I would say check it out in case you haven't. All right, next up, it's one of the only few films here that I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but this one's high up there on to watch because I've always wanted to see it. I just been slacking on picking up on lots of things, but this is one I'm gonna watch probably right away, and it is like some kind of type of killer bear film. I think it's mutated or something, and it's called The Prophecy. No, not the Christopher Walken prophecy, but some kind of prophecy starring like some kind of fucking weird beer. But yeah, this film looks really fucking awesome, dude. I seen the trailer for it a long time ago. I was like, I gotta own that one day. For some reason, I always forgot about it. Saw it online. I think I picked this up actually new. I think I just took the plastic off because it was sticky or something. I don't know. Bought it from one of these weird websites, but can't wait to check this one out. Really can't just say anything about it because I haven't seen it. All right, next up is a film that, if you're a fan of killer animal films, it's a must own. It's from the 70s. The 70s being my favorite time period for these type of films. A lot of classic ones. You got Jaws, Day of the Animals, Dogs, and whatnot. And this one is one that you must own, like I said. And it is, of course, Grizzly, starring Christopher George. Yeah, this film is pretty much Jaws, just with a killer bear, in a way. Really dug this film. It's really kind of goofy if you think about it in a way. They try to say that this bear is like 18 feet tall, but clearly it's just a regular sized grizzly bear. But that fact doesn't really bother me because they actually used the real bear for some shots in this film, and then there's other scenes where you notice it's just a guy in like some kind of suit. But still, with that being said, it's a really enjoyable film. Really gnarly fucking kills, just bear hugging everybody and ripping limbs. And a pretty fucking gnarly fucking ending, man, if you ask me. Didn't see that coming, well, the way I kind of did when they kind of hinted to it, but yeah, really great film. If you haven't seen Grizzly, pick it up. I know that film has a Blu-ray now from Scorpion, but it's like $29. Who's gonna pay that price? And I heard the transfer on it's pretty dookie. So just pick up the DVD. It's some Scorpion as well, that DVD, but it looks fine to me. If it's on Blu-ray, don't just justify in paying double the price. All right, next up is another 70s film. This one involving another creature from the sea, and it is called Orca. Yeah, I really dug this film. It has a pretty cool plot to it. Basically, it's about this whale, this male whale that seeks vengeance on this group of fishermen and whatnot for killing its mate and its baby. Starts terrorizing this group of fishermen in this little town area, Fisher Town. Yeah, man. When I was watching this film, I was saying to myself, damn, this film would look awesome on Blu-ray. There's just a lot of beautiful shots in this film, especially later on in the film when they're in just like iceberg-infested waters. That whole scenes would look amazing on Blu-ray. Hopefully this gets a Blu-ray one day, but it's from Paramount. I'm not really sure if Paramount puts their films on Blu-ray or not. But Orca, a really fun killer whale film. Probably the only killer whale film besides Moby Dick, but whatever. All right, next up is the only other film here that I have not checked out yet. It's a crocodile or alligator. Yeah, crocodile. It says it right here on the cover, dumbass. Yeah, Primeval. Yeah, I heard some good things about this one. It's got Lando Jones in it. This ought to be great. Yeah, but people said it's pretty good, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Some of these films that I did watch completely blew me away. Actually, how good they were. Yeah, this is high up on the list to watch, though. Need me some more killer crocs in my life. All right, next up is a film. Speaking of blew me away, how good it was. This film is from 2011. I can't believe it's not that old. 5 years, whatever. But from the director of Final Destination, it is called Shark Night. Yeah, I remember always seeing the advertisements for this on TV. It was one of those 3D movies. Quite noticeable when you watch this film because the sharks, quite honest, looked pretty silly and crappy, but I gave it a pass on that because it's meant to be viewed in 3D. I really dug the synopsis and the plot of this one. Really cool. I like the fact they didn't use just one type of shark. They used a whole bunch of different sharks. Some sharks that I never even heard of before. They got these little cookie cutter ones. Fucking gnarly as fuck, dude. Yeah. Really, really good film, dude. Surprisingly good. Next up here is the last of the killer animal films. It's one that I just watched last night. One I wanted been checking out for quite a while. And yeah, surprised at how good this one was too. A lot of people speak highly of it. But of course, it's from the director of Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek's an amazing film, so it should have been good, right? And it's called Robe, part of that Dimension Extreme line. Now I own a bunch of these Dimension Extreme line. Really want to pick up the ones I don't own. I kind of wish they continued this, but I don't know what Dimension's up to. Struggling to make a new Halloween film. But yeah, so Dimension, if you watch this, put out some more of these damn films. But this one's Rogue, an Australian crocodile film. Really dug the premise of this. Basically, these tourists on this safari boat type thing see this distress signal from flare in the sky, decide to go to the certain part of the lake where this giant 40-foot alligator crocodile lives. Knocks them out of the boat. They're stuck on this little island that's going to be underwater in a few hours because high tide, and it's their survival. Really dug it. The alligator looks kind of okay. Definitely noticed the CGI in him. Of course, they're not really going to have a 40-foot crocodile in their film, but yeah, dug it. Dug the hell out of that film. Yeah, so that does it for the DVDs. Let's get into the Blu-rays. I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Blu-rays. That's pretty sad. Come on, Andrew. You gotta step your game up, right? But nah, these 5 Blu-rays are some pretty amazing films, and personally, 2 of my favorite movies of all time. I know I did a video a while back on my channel, my 15 favorite films. If I owned them at the time, they definitely would have been on that list. I might redo that video again. Things have changed in orders and whatnot. But let's do the horror ones first, shall we? Since most people watching this video are horror fans. Now, first up I picked up was the Blu-ray that was supposed to be in last month's update, but the United States Postal Service sucks and they like to lose people's packages. But I found it arrived, and that is Angst here on Blu-ray from Cope Epics, man. I heard lots and lots of great things about this film. A lot of people said it was 10 out of 10s, 9.5 out of 10s. So, figured if a film's that good, I have to see it, right? I picked this up, man, and this film, fucking amazing, dude. Just the way it's shot and the way it's told. It's told, like, through this guy's point of view, not like shot point of view, but he's like narrating what's going on in film. Really enjoy it. It's all in subtitles. It's German, I believe, Austrian, which is in Germany. I'm always watching these Austrian horror films. But yeah, man, this movie's a lost gem from the 80s, man. 1983. Fucking amazing film. Go out and buy this Blu-ray. Support this company so they can put more films like this out, because it's an amazing slasher home invasion type film with a really unique twist on it. Really, really dug it, man. Influenced a lot of films too. You can notice a lot of directors after this made films after this one definitely took from it a lot of the scenes and stuff. Candyman kind of hints kind of think the Candyman director lifted a lot from that film. Alright, next up here from Scream Factory. Well, the next 2 are from Scream Factory. The films I'm finally happy to own, so I can finally hear stopping. Why don't you own those films? They're great. 2 of the older Scream Factories I don't own. There's a bunch that I don't own, but these are 2 that I want. And of course, this one is the sequel to Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Yeah, woo, this one was really, really good, man. No, nothing beats the original film, but this is a great follow-up film to it. I really dug it. Now, going into this, I thought this was the one I saw when I was a kid. It turns out it's the one coming after this one, of course, but this one was really, really good. Really dug it. Anthony Perkins. Now, next up, of course, no spoiler because I talked about it in the last movie, and that, of course, is Psycho 3. Yeah, really dug this one. Now, this is the one I did see on TV when I was a kid. Really enjoyed this one as well, man. I believe this is the one that was directed by Anthony Perkins. Could be wrong, but yeah, I really dug this one too. And surprisingly, I bought these used, and it came with the slip covers. Yeah, awesome. All right, now that's it. That does it for the horror portion of this update. If you're not a fan of non-horror films, you might want to stop the video now because it's about to get really strange in here. Yeah, no, the first film is actually really a classic film, and it's a really great animated film. It's a must-own. Yeah, I always watched this movie all the time when I was a kid. I never even knew I had a Blu-ray until a couple months ago when I decided to look it up after asking about it. And surprisingly, it's only like $8. And that is the 25th anniversary edition of One Roger Rabbit. Now, I know this guy just died. Why can't I ever remember his name, dude? I always want to call him something else. What's his name? Bob Hoskins. Yeah, I believe he just died recently. Really sad because he's part of my childhood forever, man. This movie, so many memories as a kid. It's really cool. I always want to know how like they got away with doing Disney and Warner Brother characters in the same film. I should probably watch the special features on this. Maybe it explains. But Roger Rabbit, great stuff, great animation, lots of notable cartoon characters in it. I said in like the 1940s or 1947's Hollywood. It's kind of like a noir film. I'm not really, man, butchering that word, but it's kind of like a mystery type film, trying to solve a murder, but involving cartoon characters and real life people. Really real film, man. So many nostalgic memories of this film. That's really pretty much all I have to say about it. It's all nostalgic about it. If you've never seen Roger Rabbit, you must see Roger Rabbit. It's great. Probably the best animated film of all time. Or half animated. All right, next up here is a guilty pleasure film of mine. Yet again, it's one of those films I watched all the time as a kid, over and over and over and over again because I had it taped on VHS and I would watch it over and over. And I believe it's WWE's first attempt at making a movie. Now, it's pretty fucking corny if you think about it, but at the same time, it's amazing. And that, of course, is No Holds Barred, starring Hulk Hogan and Tiny Lister, known Zeus in this movie. The guy from Friday, Debo, and whatnot. Yeah, he was actually a wrestler for a tad bit, teamed up with Macho Man, and he also played Zeus in this movie. Rip Taylor is Hulk Hogan's name in this movie. Really corny and cheesy and silliness if you think about it. This film is so awesome. It's kind of predates MMA, the way they structured the real. They try to make wrestling seem really real in this, and they wrestle in the octagon ring at the end of the film. Really cool film. Yeah, if you've never seen No Holds Barred starring Hulk Hogan, you gotta check it out. It's so bad it's good in my opinion. That famous line where he's about to choke the limo driver and he craps his pants. He's like, "What's that smell, brother?" And he's like, "Dookie." Yeah. Anyways, that's it. No Holds Barred. WWE put that on Blu-ray by Image, and surprisingly, it looked amazing. So that does it for my update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to be a little more funnier this time, I suppose, show a little personality. I didn't pick up much, but the benefit is I actually watched most of these films, so I could actually talk about them, make this video a little longer. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, till next month, hopefully be a better one. See you guys then, I suppose. Later.